Okay, and the way Bushway and Apel contribute to the literature, specifically discussed by Mears and Mestre, is one, Bushway and Apel draw attention to the focus of predictive accuracy of the signals. Secondly, they discuss the viewpoint of allocating resources more effectively since funding for reentry programs can be very scarce. Third, they explain conducting risk and needs assessments on the inmate being released, which would allow for better prediction and understanding if the inmate is likely to recidivate. This could be a costly process, but it is also discussed as very worthy in the long run. Fourth, this article discusses that employment program completion may show signals that the ex prisoner will most likely reenter successfully, but there are many other factors that could potentially be stronger influences. The factors include their misconduct levels um, inside and outside of the prison, other program completions, pro social behavior, etc. There's a lot more factors that Bushway and Apel go into. Fifth, they call attention to post release behavioral signals of the ex prisoner. The researchers also emphasize that employers would need access to ex prisoners' information regarding program completion and what that exactly means. Next, the discussion based on Bushway and Apel that Mears and Maestre go into. So, the resources they discuss should be allocated to help administrators compile information about the inmates, such as like a range of questions to ask specifically. They also discuss that an updated system needs to be provided with signaling data, risk and needs assessments data, program participation, and performance data, so everything is kind of compiled into one source. Um, for easier access. Information should also be collected from people who work with the inmates, so correctional officers, parole officers, whoever. Data collection during a post release period could be helpful as well, but could raise ethical concerns, so that would have to be further addressed. Prisons are different in terms of rehab as well. So here we are at consideration of prison diversity. They're different in terms of rehab, community supervision may differ, available services may also differ, resources available to inmates before release for successful entry. All this data must be collected and evaluated for each specific area. So it's a lot of work, but not every prison, there's no two prisons alike. So, and last but not least, we keep coming back to cost efficiency is important since there's limited funding. This is the main aspect that holds them back from growing in reentry programs. So, of course, it is a big factor discussed. So, this paper goes over many essays discussing signaling to kind of provide a foundation. Alex Picuro, 2012, argues that prisoners should be taught how to reenter society before they are released, and prevention strategies should be given to avoid recidivism. So, teaching them laws, how to obey them, how to stay away from trouble, stuff like that. Tim Brennan, 2012, explains that each inmate is different and they may not all benefit from the same employment program. This is also what Bushway and Apel contributed as well. Edward Latessa, 2012, observed that there are different effects depending on which programs were utilized well for the right types of prisoners, kind of going off of what Tim Brennan and Bushway and Apel discuss. It is important to note that Picuro and Brennan agree that there should be different ways to guide different inmates when it comes to employment, and Latessa also agrees that there needs to be better identification of what employment programming works for specific types of prisoners, ex-prisoners, considering various circumstances. So they're all basically on the same page.